Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Saturdays on Lotus Lane. We're so glad that you've joined us. Sorry we've taken a few days off, but we're just trying to get everything collected, getting ready for the playoffs, and Christmas is right around the corner, and that has gotten everybody tied up. But no Tyler tonight on my right, but we do have Cody, as always, on my left. And tonight what we're going to do is playoffs start this week. It starts... Playoffs. It starts Friday night at 8 o'clock. You have Alabama versus Oklahoma. Now, if you're sitting there and you're wondering, man, haven't we seen this already before? You'd be correct. And it wasn't that long ago. A month ago exactly today, Oklahoma beats Alabama 23-21. Now, if you go back and you look at this game, Alabama outscores them on total offense by almost 200 yards. But they coughed up the ball how many times, Cody?
Three
times. One was a pick six that went almost 80 yards.
Early in the game.
Hard to come back when you lose that turnover battle 3-0.
Yep.
So, Cody, you were just looking at the injury report for both teams. Alabama.
Looks like Jan Miller practiced today. And was leading the running backs in all the practice. To be honest with you, I watched a little bit of the media film that they did, and he was kind of pushing off and accelerating on that ankle jump cut. He did a jump cut a few times, and honestly, I was really looking in on the ankle to see if it was heavily taped and all that, and I couldn't tell. Honestly, I couldn't tell a lot. So positive there for the run game and for the the back out of the backfield catching the ball, and then you've got what's tight end? I just lost it. Chavis. He suited up today. He did suit up. He did not practice during the media portion of it. That does not mean he didn't practice other times. During the media portion, he was on the stationary bike riding the entire time. So he's questionable, which he was questionable in the SEC championship game as well.
Yeah.
So another week, 10 days.
2 weeks.
Well, yeah, 2 weeks almost to
1 day shy
to get healthy. So questionable. One guy that was not available today during practice. And if I'm not mistaken, Coach DeBoer did already say that he is doubtful. Would be a huge blow to the defensive line with L.T. Overton, who is out for what is an illness, with their reporting, which also missed the SEC championship game. I've seen some crazy reports out there. Maybe a blood clot. Might be dealing with a little blood clot. It's not been confirmed, so I don't know. But that is one of the main things that I've noticed multiple times, different people saying. But obviously we won't get a real answer on that.
So speaking on injuries, there was reports coming out as soon as the clock struck 0 on the SEC championship game that Ty Simpson is struggling with an injury.
And we said it, and I gave him a pretty hard time that next day, or that next podcast we did.
Well, he just didn't seem like himself. And I know we even talked about, you have this almost 2 weeks. Do you work on getting one of these other quarterbacks ready and Mac, who is very well known to this Kalen DeBoer offense, and Ryan Grubb, as he played for them at Washington. And Cody, you said absolutely not. You ride Ty Simpson
if he's able. And I don't say do it, but you've went this long at this point and you've done it. So yes, you have to. Now, if they'd have done it earlier in the year, maybe at second game he started struggling, or noticed that there might have been some possibly injury going on, you kind of take a chance and make the switch. But right now you've kind you've rode with him, and so you continue to do that. He practiced today. I couldn't tell much. They're saying possibly a back, a rib injury, which could make sense. He's been hit a little bit. So
he's been hit a lot. Ever since the first Oklahoma game, he has been hit a lot. He's almost leading the SEC in hits by quarterback since Oklahoma. And it's just been ruthless game after game after game, and it's not anything to do with offensive line. It's just when you bring 7 and you've only got 6 or even 5 in protection, there's 2 or 3 guys wide open getting shots on the quarterback, and you try to call plays that's going to help that quick slants, that little screen pass out of the backfield for jam. These little things that you bring another person, you have the middle of the field wide open. But what we've seen is he hasn't been 100% on connecting with those, and that has a lot to do with what we assume is the injury.
Well, you kind of hit on the offensive line. Cam Dewberry, which is the starting right tackle, I believe.
Right tackle, yep.
No, right guard.
Okay.
It'd be a guard. One of the guards. He is healthy. He missed the last game.
No limitations in practice today?
Nope, he was full go. And then Parker Brailsford, All-American center, who has been very limited and played through some things, says he's about as healthy as you could be in the middle of a season. So he's pretty healthy.
So you see Alabama's injury report. Oklahoma seems to be looking better on the injury report. Of course, everybody knows John Mateer went down during the Auburn. Well, he didn't go down. He broke his hand in the Auburn game. Finished the rest of the game. Had surgery afterwards. Came back during the Texas game, and he just hasn't been the same John Mateer since. You're looking at someone who, third game, you're thinking, okay, this is the Heisman Trophy candidate. They just went and they beat Michigan, and you're very high on him. Well, I don't think he's thrown for over 120, 150 yards since. So if you look up Oklahoma's injury report, what do we see on them?
Not much. Let's see. See if I can pull that up real quick. Because I haven't. They weren't dealing with as much anyways.
They haven't been, but their big thing has been defense. And so if you're looking at defensively and defensive production, that's why you really want to look at that injury report, because they have just been managing the game on offense, and their defense has set them up for big plays. So,
it looks like R. Mason Thomas, the big defensive end, and their center, Jake, and I'm not even going to try to say your last name, will get some practice this week, so it'll be on the injury report. But he does anticipate them to both practice this week. We'll see how far they get throughout the week. But he hadn't said that they're a go yet.
So let's go to November the 15th. Like I said, it was a 23-21 victory. This was in Tuscaloosa. Like I said, if you look at just the box scores for these teams, Oklahoma in total offense, let me get to the right spot here. In total offense, they had 212 yards. Like I said, passing was that 138 mark. Alabama had 406, with Ty Simpson throwing for 326 yards. Now, question of the game is, Alabama only rushed for 80 yards. They still outrushed Oklahoma, which was only 74 yards. You look at the defense for Alabama, you know they can handle anything you throw out there. We talked about it in the SEC championship game. They looked really, really good. The offense and special teams didn't set you up very good in that game. And offense didn't set you up very good in this game either. Like I said, 3 turnovers was the difference.
Yes.
Do we see anything different? How do we see Alabama being able to take the edge? Because for Alabama to stay out of that conversation of, well, you didn't deserve to be there, which we've talked about. I called Tyler the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz without a brain for his arguments. But if you look at this game, and if Alabama loses, well, all college football is going to be in turmoil because they didn't deserve to be in. How did Alabama avoid that?
First of all, they've got to stop Mateer and his running ability. I think if you can contain him and his rushing ability, I think that is a very good start. Because he does run the ball, and Alabama, has had issues in the past with running quarterbacks. Not that he's a true running quarterback, but he does offer that mobility that he can get out of the pocket. So that hurts. But Ty Simpson, he's just gotta be able to anticipate the rush and guess. And a lot of the time it is right. You got to guess which one's coming, and be able to have your check down and be able to get rid of it quick. And not think that I've got to try to hit the deep ball. And sometimes, buddy, you were a dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. Take off. You can take off a little bit.
That's what I was about to ask. Do you try to slow down that rush a little bit just by using your feet? Obviously, you're right on the same page as I was going to. But there's a big distraction leading up to this game.
Mm-hmm.
Big firing last week.
Yeah.
Came out of the blue. Wasn't expecting it. Michigan's head coach went 9-3 and was out. When they posted this, they didn't put any reason or anything like that. You were left in the dark, and you're thinking, what in the world is going on here? And it finally came out that he was having a inappropriate relationship with one of the staff members. Rumor has it, the lady got pregnant. He forced her to have an abortion, doubled her pay. She didn't feel comfortable with it, and still reported him, and then went to her house where he made terroristic threats on her life and himself, and was going to make her watch. No bueno. You're sitting at the top of your game. You've got to be smarter than that. You want to teach your kids to do the same thing. You've got to be the example, and I think it's a good firing. But, Cody, who's the top of the list for possible candidates to go and replace?
Seems like Kalen DeBoer has been the top for multiple jobs, but he has come out this week already and reaffirmed his commitment and focuses on Alabama and with Alabama, and he will be coaching. His words, we know how that goes. He will be coaching for Alabama next season.
How much does rumors like that, though, affect a clubhouse or a locker room leading into a big game like this?
Well, I mean, he's had to defend that already once this year, and he stayed. His word meant what it meant. So, as a player, you've got to think, all right, well, he's told us he's kept his word on some of the big things. So, we can trust him. If he's telling us he's going to be here next year, he's here.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I feel like that's probably the opinion. But they're also playing for themselves in Alabama.
Absolutely. So you don't go to Alabama for the coach for many reasons, right? Alabama is able to recruit even with bad coaches. They just don't know what to do with them when they get them on the field. That was a problem that you had with Shula. Mm-hmm. It was a problem for the coach right before Shula. Had great players. I remember Brody Kroll was a great quarterback, and if he could have stayed healthy, would have been possibly an MVP in the NFL, even a Hall of Fame type quarterback. He was that good when he went to Kansas City, but you just didn't know what to do with him once you got him there. Where Nick Saban kind of turned that around. So, playoff start Friday night, 8 o'clock, you have Alabama at Oklahoma. At Oklahoma. They are the higher seed. They will be the home team. So that plays into effect. Cody, real quick when we get off, we'll do our pick-ems after every review of the game. Cody, who do you have for this game?
Right now, early odds have Alabama as a 1.5 favorite. That could be different at this point. That was when the original report. What is it now?
It's 1.5.
Still 1.5.
The total is 40.5 points. So they don't expect this to be a high-scoring game. Kind of exactly what we got in November. We've said it on this show multiple times. It's hard to beat a good team, or hard to beat a team twice. Not necessarily even a good team, but it is hard to beat a good team twice in the same season. I'm going to stick. I think I'm going to go with Alabama on this one, just for the fact that they've got some time to get healthy. Both running backs should be as close to as 100% as they're going to be this year at this point of the season. And I think the receivers kind of have a new face, new voice in their ears right now. A former NFL receiving coach is there helping out. And didn't he play at Alabama?
I'm not sure if he did or not. I'm not sure who it is. And then I know Coach DeBoer has been heavily involved in the practice scheme with the receivers as well. So I think the receivers are going to have to take a step and help out and get some separation and allow Ty to get the ball to them. But, I mean, Oklahoma is a great team defensively, and I think they're a good team offensively. It just depends on if Mateer is healthy enough to really play like he had at the beginning of the year.
So I've lost 4 games this season voting Alabama games. They got beat by Florida State. I picked them to win. I picked them to lose against Georgia in the regular season. I lost that game. Picked them to beat Oklahoma the first time. Lost that game. Picked them to beat Georgia in the SEC championship. I was the only one who had any faith in them. I lost that game. This is tough. You have John Mateer and an Oklahoma team who's had 3 weeks off versus 2 weeks off like Alabama because they didn't play in the SEC championship game. They didn't go in there and get rocked. I know you said that Jordan Craven was there, and the noise of the pops. He's never heard anything like it. He goes to a lot of Georgia games. It's going to be 49 degrees in Norman, Oklahoma on kickoff. So the weather is going to be perfect football weather. It's not going to be too cold where everything hurts, but it's definitely not going to be hot. You're going to need a jacket there. I'm going to go with Alabama, but the key to success for this is protecting the ball and do not abandon the run so early. Mm-hmm. I think once you get going, you've got to get the momentum. Alabama has not always been great in the first or second quarter with running the ball, but they've worn down teams to where when it comes to the third and fourth quarter, that's where you get your big gains, and I think you've got to continue on that path.
Well, and jump back in real quick. What's one way to neutralize a really good defensive end? What do you normally do?
You play not play action, but you read him.
Read him. Run at him. Read him. And so I feel like that's got to be part of the game plan. If Mason's going to play, then that's got to be the game plan. You're going to read him and you're going to run at him, and make him make a choice, and have that option there for Ty. So I think that's a big part of this as well. So.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. It is Monday night. We have a crazy week going on this week. Next week is Christmas. I'm so excited. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I hope you have plans to spend it with your family. If you don't or can't, man, give them a call. Tell them you love them, you're thinking about them. This is a season to where there's no place like home, And so we appreciate all of you for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and leave us a comment. And as always, it is Saturday on Lonas Lane. Thanks, guys.